today I thought that it would be a good idea to go ahead and kind of do like a small book shopping day, but I'm going to go to only one store. It's going to be the dollar store. And the thing is that I have gone to the dollar store a lot of times, of course, because it's cheap and you can get a lot of things for $1. But and I do know that they have kind of like a book aisle that you can get books, and I thought that the books were bad, so I just wanna go to the store and get a couple of books to see if they're good, if they're bad, because you know, they may be good and why not. Hi guys, I'm back. So it really took me a day or more to actually put together the book haul that I wanted to do for you guys. I ended up going to the dollar store and also to a thrift store in Fort Myers. So I bought some books. I think they are going to be extremely interesting. Some of them I bought them because of the cover. Of course, you know I'm a cover lover. That's not news, but I think they're good, so let's begin. The first one is going to be Valley of the Moon by Melanie Gideon. I don't know if I'm saying that name correctly. Just bear with me and let me know if I said it correctly. Melanie Gideon. So this book I bought it mainly because of the cover. It is beautiful. I love purple. I haven't said this in my channel, but I am a graphic designer slash illustrator for children books and in general, so I do fall in love really quickly with cover designs and illustrations. So it looks very interesting. Has cottagecore vibes. San Francisco, 1975. A single mother, Lux Lissender, is overwhelmed, underpaid, and living on the edge of an emotional precipice. I really love books that have to do with normal situations like loves. Don't take me wrong, I do love fantasy books a lot, and romances, but it is always so nice to read about struggles, about people struggling to make a living or difficult situations. When her adored 5-year-old son goes away to visit his grandparents, Lux takes a solo trip to Sonoma Valley, a chance to both lose herself and find herself again. I feel like this book, because she's going to a valley, it would be really nice for like summer, spring, summer season. Okay, next up I have the Victorian and the Romantic, a memoir, a love story, and a friendship across time by Nell Stevens. I love this so much. I'm in love with this. I haven't read it and I'm already in love. First, Victorian. I do love everything that has to do with historical fiction. This is, I guess, because of the book, of the cover of the book, is a story about two different women across time. One Victorian, one is supposed to be romantic. I don't know what that would mean, but it looks so good already. In 1857, English novelist Elizabeth Gaskell left behind her dull minister husband and their dreary provincial city and set off with her daughters for Rome. Oh my god. And then it says, in 2013, Nell Stevens is in London and embarking on her dissertation about the community of art a community of artists and writers living in Rome in the 19th century, while falling head over heels for a soulful American screenwriter living in Paris. Oh my god, this book is so yes. I think that I'm really going to like it. Next up is Watch the Lady. I must say that again, I bought this one because of the cover. It has like a kind of Regency vibe to it, but I haven't read it, so I don't know what the story is going to be like. Again, that's fine. It's going to be a surprise. I just guessed that I will have to read it and discover what it is about. What I have read is the synopsis. It says Penelope Devereux is a legendary beauty in the court of Elizabeth I, the inspiration for Philip Sidney's sonnet sequence Astrophil and Stella. But her looks are not her only asset. Her clever wit has made her a favorite of the queen. I think I like the topic of the subject. Maybe I do like this story. I like everything that has to do with historical fiction, so I think this one is going to be really good. Next up, Lady Renegades. So this one, it looks like a really funny book to read, so I just wanted to get it. I like how I like the cover. I like the purple cover. Oh my, I'm obsessed with covers. Just as Harper Price starts coming to terms with her role as David Stark's battle-ready paladin, protector and girlfriend, her world goes crazy all over again, overwhelmed by his oracle powers. Oh my god. So she's supposed to be like the badass of this book, I guess, like Harper. It says oracle power, so I guess it has a little bit of magic in it. Okay, and next, The Invention of Fire by Bruce Holsinger. This one I bought it because I did remember that someone told me that they had read this book. It was a surprise to find it in the dollar store. Again, I didn't even know that the dollar store had this many books. But yeah, it says London 1386, a mass murder has taken place within the city walls. 16 corpses have been dumped where they are sure to be found. I love mysteries. It has even murder and everything, so yeah, I think I'm going to like it. I haven't read it, like I have never read this book, but again, I think I'm gonna like it. It says beautifully crafted, quite simply medieval thrillers don't come better than this. I may have a new favorite author. So next up, Natalie's 10th Book of Luck and Fortune. This one, it was a complete cover buy. I do not care. It's okay. It says, at the news of her mother's death, Natalie Tan returns home. The two women hadn't spoken since Natalie left in anger 7 years ago. When her mother refused to support her chosen career as a chef, Natalie is shocked to discover the vibrant neighborhood of San Francisco's Chinatown that she remembers from her childhood is fading, with businesses failing and families moving out. She's even more surprised to learn she inherited her grandmother's restaurant. Okay, so it looks like this is the journey of a woman trying to make her life or her career as a chef. It is always nice to read about someone doing something to help the community. Next one up, Carissima. Carissima. When I have the opportunity, I always buy hardcovers because I feel like the books, they have less damage when you have them for a really long time when they have a hardcover. But still, I again fall in love with covers really easily, so I just got this paperback and I really like it because it has like rugged edges, and I really like that. Also, this book has the flaps on each side, so it is like a paperback, but it's kind of hard. In college, Pia Santore dreamed of going to New York and taking the Big Apple by storm with her younger sister Erica. Instead, Pia has arrived in Astoria, Queens, with a prestigious journalism internship at a celebrity magazine. and without Erika. Oh my god, she left her sister. The pain of losing Erika a few years ago still feels fresh. Oh, okay, so her sister died. Okay, okay. Next up, this book that I love the cover. Like, I could get married to this cover just because of the painting. It is so beautiful. I really enjoy it. It looks kind of vintage when it comes to the colors, and like it gives me like an autumn fall kind of vibes. I think I'm gonna read it next fall, or maybe I can add this one to my TBR for November, but I only have 1 week, 1.5 weeks left, and I do have 3 books still that I have to read from the ones that I showed you guys last video. Again, this one, apart from being hardcover, it has rag edges, which I love. They were the dazzling, beautiful, widely rich women with him sisters called the Three Graces. Oh my god, do you imagine that you're so beautiful, so beautiful, that people in the community that you live in, they have to tell you, you and your sister, they call you the Three Graces? By Edward, the Prince of Wales. They were part of the 400 families that made up Britain's ruling class. Oh my god, part of the upper 10,000, at the center of cultural and political life in Victorian and Edwardian Britain. They were the champions of British prime ministers, poets, writers, and artists. Their lives entwined with the most scandalous and celebrated figures of the day, from Oscar Wilde to Henry James. Wow. Wow. I feel like I'm going to love this book. I already love it because of the cover, but still I feel like I'm going to really love this book. I am crazy ready to review this book. I really feel like I'm going to read it before November is over. It is a really big, it's not that big like the kind of month to cry, but it is big. Oh my god, I'm happy about it. Oh my god, so happy. Next up, I have Mr. Rochester by Sarah Shoemaker. For 117 years, Edward Rochester has stood as one of literature's most romantic, complex, and mysterious heroes. Sometimes haughty, sometimes tender, professing his love for Jane Eyre in one breath and denying it in the next. That's not being like a hottie or something like that. That's just being a crazy person. If you say that you love someone 1 minute and then you kind of don't like them at the next. But well, I do love Jane Eyre anyways. Mr. Rochester has for generations mesmerized, beguiled, and yes, baffled fans of Charlotte Bronte's masterpiece, but his own story has never been told. Ooh. So I guess this is a retelling of the life of Mr. Rochester. I do love Jane Eyre. I have seen all of the versions of Jane Eyre. I have read the book of Jane Eyre. I have a couple of editions of Jane Eyre, the book. I do enjoy it. I do have a couple of issues with the actual novel, but that is just like my thing. But it would be really interesting to read a book about Mr. Rochester and not Jane Eyre, like what happened between them, but the whole story. Yeah, I'm kind of excited. These 2 books, I didn't got them at the dollar store. I went to Fort Myers and I found this book, The Historian by Elizabeth Rostova. I haven't read this book, but it looks very interesting. It's not new. I love the interior of the book. It has this map. Who doesn't love books that have maps? It says, late one night exploring her father's library, a young woman finds an ancient book and cache of following letters. The letters are all addressed to my dear and unfortunate successor. and they plunge her into a world she never dreamed of. I feel like that first sentence, it is a magnificent way to trap my attention. So yeah, it is a really big book. I think I'm going to read it next year, or maybe I can start with this book in December. I haven't really decided, but I do want to read it for sure. I almost never buy books not to read them. Even if I buy books that mainly because of the cover, I will read them. Finally, I wouldn't say finally because I would love to keep showing you guys books, but finally, Out of Us. It is kind of like new, which is amazing. It costs $3.99. I was looking for it for a really long time. The jacket is really beautiful, and the book, it is really beautiful as well. Like the illustrations is vintage. Who doesn't love a book with maps? Come on, that is a wonderful map. It has some illustrations inside the book. I do love this. Okay guys, so that was all. That was a really long book haul. I feel like it was long. I have seen people do like a 70 or 100 books book haul. I do not know how they do it. Bye.